and Rising. My name is Misty. I am your tarot reader for January 2020. Goodness. Bless me. Very, very human. Okay, so January 2020, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's start to unpack this to see what's going on for my Gemmies. A lot of really deep activity. Oh man, sneeze attack. A lot of really, really deep activity going on. And that one too. A couple more. This is the Shamanic Healing Oracle. I really love this deck. Oh, a lot of changes taking place for you guys this month. A ton of changes. And it's going to start out right at home. Right at home. And a lot of sexual energy, a lot of momentum around relationships seem to be happening. Yeah, a lot of them going on. And that's how it kind of starts out. It kind of starts out at your home life. It starts out with the sexual energy and the action moving forward. So there's something that's maybe been going on in the home life that's going to start to become unraveled, to be able to see clearly. And for some of you, this could be moving in with a partner, moving in with somebody. This is a sexual energy card. So I just see a lot of energy opening up around relationships and a lot of action around relationships. For some of you, this is going to be, there's a change that's going to take place here around relationships, whether it's a moving towards or moving away from. There's definitely a big pull here or a big opening here. Some of you might even be considering moving and that sort of thing. And yeah, some of you might be considering moving. So we're going to pull this little Sovereign Oracle deck. We're not going to take those because this is just a little complicated deck. It's so cute. We're going to do the tarot, and we'll also do some angel cards as well. So we're going to unpack this. We're going to take our time, Gemmies. We're going to see what's really going on for January 2020. I'll also talk to you a little bit about, for some of you, there's a teacher that's going to be around that's really going to help you through this deep period, this deep transitioning period, because there's this opening up of your gifts, of the magic that you have to share. Yep, the magic that you have to share. And some of you have, been wanting to figure out how to make money off of your gifts, how to bring your gifts to the world, these talents, these gifts. There's going to be some corrections that take place around these areas of values and how, around these areas of values. We're going to pull a couple more cards to see what type of corrections are coming in for you. And some of you are really looking for your soul teachers, It's not really about, especially at the beginning of the month, it's not about what you say. It's more about, Gemmies, it's more about what you do, okay? It's more about how you act. It's more about being a light for others, This full moon, there's a full moon lunar eclipse that is taking place in your second house, and that is all around your values, your money, your possessions, all of that sort of stuff. And then you got the whole party taking place opposite of that at the 8th house. This is where your Saturn-Pluto conjunct is taking place. And so this is some really deep psychological work going on for you. Some of you really being pulled, starting to be pulled towards your soul mission, your soul's calling. Really, really pulled. I'm going to do a full Celtic cross for you guys. And this is my Gemmies. Where are we feeling you guys? Down here. I have a Gemini ascendant, so yep. Again, I see you holding the money and holding the values and looking at the way that you value things and changes taking place in the way that you move forward with that. There's been some dreams, some ideas, something that's keeping you up at night, something that's keeping you worried, something that's kind of been covering you, and you're learning how to approach these things gently. And there's some healing around some sexual issues taking place as well. I definitely can feel that taking place. There's a gentleness that's needed, a gentleness with yourself and a gentleness as you move forward, because in the past there's been some inaccuracies of the way that you've been seeing things. You get the Ace of Swords reversed, and so you realize some sort of revelation is coming in that helps you see things from a clearer perspective. And for some of you, this inaccuracy has been around work. There's been a lot of energy around agreements and how you make agreements and how you work. So you're wanting to make really good agreements and figuring out how to operate and how to bring that forward. Yeah, how to bring that forward. And some of you have been really alone. For some of you, this is the ending of being alone. I see that even towards the beginning of the month, a lot of action. And for some of you, there's this feeling of you stepping up for what you want, and you needing to step up. And also realizing that there's been this sort of like, how do I describe this? Aggressive energy. It's not even aggressive. It is a little aggressive, but it's more intellectually aggressive energy that's coming, that you've been dealing with, that's been coming out of you. And that's kept you from being able to listen to that inner guidance, that inner light, that inner wisdom that takes place deeper in this very deep place inside of you. And I see moving into alignment with that. There's a huge opportunity here to let go. This taking place in the 2nd house of values and the 8th house of where taxes and money and order. So there's this needing to let go of things that have already happened, that are outside of your control. And starting to set that drive of the ego that's taken place here, that's kept you up, that's kept you worrying, that's kept you in this space, to start to let that go. This release is what brings you towards the win. This release is what brings you towards this soothing thing, because there's been this resistance of change. And so you want to spend some time looking at that inner resistance. There's this inner journey to go on. And I see that here as well. There's an inner journey that's going to be going on where you're going to be exploring yourself, exploring your own myths, exploring the things that are going on inside of you. And this exploration really, really helps. But working with ancient imagery, working with these old archetypes is really, really good for you this month. I see that as very, very strong. And allowing yourself to be honest about the struggle, because there is going to be a release with the struggle that's going to take place. And this starts happening more around the new moon, as that energy of that conjunct that takes place in your 8th house starts moving into the 9th house, which is more about your talents, more about your studying, more about how you present yourself in the world. And so it's going to move more towards that energy later in the month, but in the beginning it's not. Now, for some of you, you're being called to teach, and for some of you, you have a teacher that's close by you. So be on the lookout, open up to the possibilities that there's teachers around you, people that can help you, people that can mentor you if you allow them to. There's also this cleansing of the energy that seems to be taking place. And let's really talk about, you're getting a lot of work stuff here. So I really want to look at some of the corrections that need to take place, a lot of money stuff here. So a lot of, it's interesting because, I mean, you're getting this one, you're getting the 8 of Pentacles reversed, and you're getting the 3 of Pentacles reversed. And so I'm wondering, with this 2nd house lunar eclipse across from the 8th house, if there is not some like reckoning financially that might take place. Something about your relationship that you have with abundance is what I'm feeling, and a rebirth needing to look at the way that you have been thinking about abundance and thinking about money in general. And so there's these deeper underlying mental patterns that have been holding you around the idea of abundance that are ready to release and ready to come into a new perspective. And so let's just look at these cards really quick. Let's pull a couple on your relationship with abundance. And then let's also pull a couple tarot cards to see areas of correction for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and split these up. And we're going to pull right from the top. This is going to be our top. So you're in a process, you know, be curious about how you do it. And, oh, wow, okay. Be curious. So we want to start from a place of observation of what our relationship is. So I would recommend getting, you know, some money or something. Yes?
I'm sorry, UPS is here and he needs...
Okay, sorry. I'm in a store working. I'm in a store doing the readings. So anyway, so the very first thing is, you want to give yourself the time and space. You want to give yourself the container so that you can be very intentional about, hold on. Okay, so we're going to go back to you being curious and being curious about the process, being curious about what your relationship is like with money. So you want to come at this, the way to work with this energy that's coming in this month is to first actually look at how you're processing these things. Find a flow in your process. You're going to start establishing a process for working with these mental patterns that you have around abundance. And so you want to give yourself the time and space. You want to give yourself a safe container. Like set up the energy, set up the space up front. Maybe working with an abundance altar, maybe working with a money altar, that sort of thing might be very, very good for you this month. And here it's also about you setting up those small steps that get you to where you want to be. It's not about rushing ahead to the end game, but making those small steps that will really help you. So you're looking for those areas where there's a lot of friction and there's less play and joy within you. So this is what we're looking at. So there's a gift within your conflict that you're seeing in itself. So there's a gift in the friction. And there's some opposing viewpoints, that are going back and forth. There might be a little bit of dissonance in the consciousness around the money. So remember that when these rough surfaces start to come out and you start to bring your consciousness to them, it feels like a little bit of friction, but it's going to smooth things out as you move forward. So you want to start turning it in more into, you want to look at it more from the aspect of play and more from the aspect of it being a game. So turn things upside down and start to get a little bit of a new perspective. Switching that perspective up is really, really going to help you as well. Really going to help you. So let's look at what the corrections are. What corrections do you have in this 7th, 8th house area of where this is taking place? Some of you are really going to be walking away from some things that aren't feeling good at all. It's been time to walk away. Your soul is calling you at such a deep level. It's almost like your soul has been in pain for not listening to it, and now it's time to listen to it. There might be somebody who's facing some court cases. There's a little bit of a warning here around those sort of things. I'm not seeing like this is a great time for a Gemini to be doing that, but either way, with the decisions that are coming in are going to be, they're ending with the end of the struggle and the end of what is holding you back. I want to go ahead and pull. So this is the end of the struggle around this new moon energy that's coming in, where it's going to be really the beginning of what's coming next. What's coming next for you? So a lot of surrenders needed. A lot of surrender. Again, that's that allowing. That's that surrender. That's changing things. That really goes with this card up here. That's releasing the need to win, releasing the need to be right. And it really is, you're coming full circle. You're coming all the way back to a new beginning, all the way back to new talents, all the way back through. And some of you, this is about a relationship as well. I mean, I do see possibly a new relationship coming in. There's a little bit of conflict around it, but there is possibly the beginnings of a new relationship. I'll pull a 3-card draw. So right now, things might start moving fast around the last half of the month, around this new moon the last week or so. Some of you, there's a little bit of traveling going on. Looks really good for travel, really good for that. And then there's this release of the burdens that you've been carrying and looking at areas where that you have felt trapped. So here you are, possibly studying actually looks really good for you, bringing your talents to the world and all of that. So really look at areas where you feel like you might be victimized, and anywhere where you can take back your power and you could take back your control and hold your control there. That will really, really help you. All right. So last couple cards for my Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. That one. angel messages. What messages do we have today for the Gemmies? And the peace starts to come your way as you work on some of these root chakra issues. This is definitely, you want to be focusing on the root chakra, the base chakra. That's the chakra at the very, very bottom. And these are choosing positive thoughts around your home life, your career, your finances. These words really help determine your outcome. And so writing for you guys, your intentions, your visions for 2020, even for the next 30 years or so, really focus on those positive thoughts, have some positive affirmations around you, and the peace is going to come back in, the playfulness is going to come back in these areas. And so also there is some healing that's taking place that's bringing you with your spiritual soulmate, whether you're with that person or they're headed towards you. I see some healing that's taking place as well there. Okay. Well, Gemmies, I think that's it for today. That's quite a bit. We got interrupted a little bit in the middle, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll be able to piece together the video somehow. So I hope that you like this. Please hit subscribe, like, leave me a little comment. If you want to book a reading, there's also how to do that down below. All right, bye guys.